This episode is brought to you by Need Energy, a company that's here to offer you smart energy solutions. We all know how bad the electricity crisis is in Zim right now. How many times have you had to cook with the fire already this year? Contemplate not bathing over awulamat. Queue for fuel for the generator. Well, Need Energy is here to change all of that. They install all gas fittings, including but not limited to stoves and gas geysers. So what does this mean? Gone are the days of smelling like Ntutu after a tough day at work. Losing precious sleep because you gotta wake up early in the morning to boil water before power cuts. And they'll deliver and refill the gas as needed with their smart meter technology, hassle-free. Diaspora gang, you guys are in this too. Less of that and this is a sure. And more of the investing in smart solutions for your loved ones. Being Zimbabwean doesn't have to equal inconvenience. So do the cheese boy thing and email Need Energy at sales@needenergy.co.zw, or you can call or WhatsApp +263 775 817 864. And last but not least, also make sure you check out the website at needenergy.io. That's NEED energy.io. Let them know 6 Foot Weight sent you. Right, let's get to the show.
Go on, Mr. Maps.
Yo, what's the story?
That was a delayed yo, my guy. Are you lagging? Are you alright? Are you kicking?
No, I'm not. I feel like I was there. Yeah, but I'm here. Midday.
Okay, I can say to you a bit slow off the blocks there.
Full start.
But it's so good. You're alive and kicking.
Yeah, bro, I'm alive, man. I can't complain.
Alive and kicking. You're in the right. You're in the shop.
Yeah.
Bro, you know me. Swell as usual.
Okay. Standard, Baba. Standard. Right. Where are we? Yeah. Okay, cool. Welcome back. It is another episode of 6 Foot Weights, your favorite hour with your favorite cheese boys. My name is Tabo.
My name is Senna.
And we are back again to do the damn things. How was your week, Mr. Moy?
Yes. Nah, it's been alright. Busy. Like, I feel like every week this year has just been busy ever since I got back to work. But we move. I can't complain. I'm taking a small holiday at the end of the week. So that
vacation, Sila.
Ha. No. Not like that. Not like that, Mr. Maps. I wish. But yeah, at least I have a long weekend, so I'm fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any admin or any what do we call it?
Housekeeping. I'll start IP Thursday before the end of the month, so this will be literally.
That's next week, right?
Of the month. Yes. Oh, is it next week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Around about next week. I've just had a lot happening, so to get going, it's difficult when you've been out the races for a while, but I think this year is going to be also slightly different. I'll do it twice a month. So that's every other week instead of every week. that is just because of change of obligations at work. So it's gonna be a bit harder, but we keep moving.
Okay. All right. No, solid. I don't think I have any housekeeping on my end. Just a little bit of admin to get out the way. I got a whole lot of shit about that inadvertent meat grabbing story that I shared last week. The fellas weren't having it, bro. The fellas weren't having it.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I felt
Go ahead.
I saw the reaction after the episode, and I was like, no man, I should have taken this nigga to task when he said it, because I feel like I was caught up laughing.
It's funny.
I was proper caught up laughing, like it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm like, this one.
You slept on the job.
Like I should have went in, but then obviously, the story of it was just hilarious to me. Now when we're now dragging you afterwards, I was like, no man, hang on.
Nah, bro, there was a whole address in the group chat, bro. Nigga was just like, you cannot tell me that you didn't know you had meat in your hands, bro. Like, there's no way. And here's the thing. Again, I don't think it's defense, right? I don't know, but anyway. It is what it is. That shit. Have you ever? Look, you've gone shopping, right? Gone to the supermarket, and you've picked up a local of polony, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, it just didn't register.
I think my issue, in hindsight,
yes,
this is something that someone, I think I saw in the comments, in one of the posts. I think it was one of Fezzi. Was it Fezzi's post or was it Panash's post? One of the two. Anyways, how do you mistake that for a wallet?
No. So here's the thing. I knew for a fact that, okay, fine. You reach into a pocket. Also, to be clear, it's like not the inner thigh. I literally slid on the outer thigh, right? Which justifies my shit even more, because obviously on your outer thigh you're not planning to bump into none, right? So that's
what did you think it was?
I don't know, but like in my mind, it just didn't go there, because there's no, like it just didn't connect. In my head, it really just didn't connect. Oh shit, until like a couple seconds later, then I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck, right? So it just took time. It took a couple seconds too many for my brain, because it just, when you just don't expect something. It's like right now, yeah, ungahambe kitchen. Upambane lo mamako. Yeah, pig. Like kates in your kitchen. It's just gonna be one of those things where it's just, your brain will just be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you don't expect to walk out of your kitchen right now and see your mom cooking in the kitchen right now, because your mom is in Zim, right? So it was just one of those situations where it's just so far from your mind, you don't plan to do something. Like, so anything else in life where you're just like, okay, cool. You go, a chick tells you, hey, yo, pull up, let's watch a movie, let's watch Netflix and chill. What's the expectation? That there's going to be sex, right? So if at whatever point in the movie she starts to touch you, kiss on you, whatever, you're not going to be like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on, right? You're going to be like, okay, cool, kind of saw this coming, right? And you act accordingly. Mm-hmm. Whereas if it's just some shit you just did not expect to happen, then it's just, I was a victim. I really was a victim in this particular case. I think that's how I'm going to frame it, and that's how I'm going to say I was a victim, and it is what it is. Never reached into a pocket ever again in my life, so it was a difficult lesson to learn.
It's you not recognizing that it was meat that I think, even though you've tried to explain, I don't think the group chat will be at all convinced.
No, guys. Honestly, I just wasn't expected. I was just a young black guy that wanted his money. I just wanted my money, bro. I wanted to go to the tuck shop buy a burger, buy a Coke at break time, like everybody else, you know. And he
So what? How did he like
run
look
with
at
my
you
money.
after like you touched the meat? Did he like look at you like, what the fuck? Or was he like,
Nah.
Tabo?
Yeah,
What are you
okay,
doing?"
What the fuck, man? So, I'm gonna have to remember this whole thing again. It was. I guess it was more, not exactly, but much more closer in the neighborhood of embarrassment. That's what it was more of. So like,
Okay.
just I guess he was shocked too. But again, I don't get it, because if you know that's your current situation, if you know you've pitched a tent, like if you feel someone reaching into your pocket, you're gonna immediately, you know what I mean, smack the hand, right? Like it's not like I Zouma the owner or whatever. It was almost as if I got invited in. To be honest, it was almost as if I got invited in to even, because I was like, oh yeah, I think the nigga even said search my pockets. No, I'm not even lying. I promise you. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 85% sure. He was like, you know, like, no, Senna, if I'm pressing you, like, hi, Senna, Imalia. And you're like, under wallet, what? You can search me, right? It was one of them things. Not with the A, comment, search. It was one of them, like, I guess, throwaway lines where he's like, dude, you can literally search my pockets. Anila wallet, right? So in that type of context. And then I guess maybe he didn't expect me to actually, you know, search the word, because I didn't believe him. But anyway, I don't know. There's a lot. Who think of the own areas of economy. I want to do this inside.
Okay. No. Nyaguzo, Mr. Mapos. The people will be the ones to judge you and pass the final verdict on this one. Like I said, I thought the whole story was just funny, and I was just caught up laughing.
Never again, bro. You think you can just be vulnerable with your listeners, and you know, shit just goes sideways, man. No, that's anyway. Yeah, no, a lot has happened in life, man. This was definitely one of the most fucked up things that's ever happened. Not actually, no. I feel like that's me being extra. It's just one of the most unexpected things that has ever happened in my life, right?
It's hilarious, dog. That's what I'll say.
I mean, I thought I could laugh at it now, but now it's just kind of like, I'm like, but guys, you know, I'm a victim. Anyway, whatever, man.
Nah.
Let's move on. We've got some interesting shit to talk about. We're gonna have a Valentine's Day in Don. We'll kind of, I don't know. I guess we'll see. So we have someone jumping onto the pod. May or may not be anonymous. So you know, when they jump on, we will. You know, we'll see how we're gonna go with that. How said person feels.
I guess they'll decide whether or not they want to be anonymous or whether
we could feeling
to be
station.
out there.
Yeah, we could feeling station this shit. Give her a name, and they just have some shit to get off their chest because of a certain somebody. But I guess we can that Mr. Moyo, for your own information, that's probably going to be in about 15 minutes or so. So I guess we can start with...
Okay. But we'll talk about it at the end, I guess, just to run through all the other things.
Yeah. So let me see here. Alright, cool. So yeah, the first thing that I wanted to start with is Netflix prices, man. So Netflix announced that prices are gonna come up again. They're gonna go up again, rather. In the near future, if they haven't gone up already, because this was an article from like mid-Jan, so I don't know if they've gone up.
Okay.
I know I just get debited. Unfortunately, I am a Netflix landlord for my entire family. You know, Usang had the audacity to even upgrade, because you know how like initially it's like just 2 screens, and then after that you know, whoever jumps on, they can't. So all of a sudden, literally went into my account and
So it's
upgraded
only
to, like,
two
4
at a time.
screens. Yeah. So the standard account, I think, at the time of me starting Netflix or whatever, it was about $8 a month for 2 screens, and then I think
Yeah.
for 4, it was like $14 or $15 a month. So obviously, I'm good with my 2 screens because I've never had any issues with that. And then out of nowhere, I get an email from Netflix saying thank you for upgrading your package. And I'm like, how? Why are we
Yeah,
upgrading
yeah.
the package?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I hit up with some like Usanga, how far is that? Chief, there's a long line of people trying to watch Netflix. Me, I'm trying to watch. Your mother's trying to watch. Everyone's trying to watch. So it just made sense. And I'm just like,
Yeah. My guy was like, no, let's upgrade this thing.
bruh, so let's just upgrade the thing. Let's do a family plan, and he can afford it. And so I'm literally, I've got my whole family on my back, bruh. I miss the days when I was
Hectic.
leeching. In uni. I had
So
my
now
friends-
wait, is it going up?
Yeah, it's going up. So I read the article, but I read it like earlier this week. So essentially, the reason why. So again, I have a bigger picture that I want to get at. So the reason why Netflix is increasing its prices is because the subscriber growth is starting to plateau, right? So because they're not getting, and people are leeching, right? So the problem, yama leeches. That's one thing I want to address. People who, because so many people, especially, I'm sure there's plenty leeches who must identify themselves on Twitter as Netflix leeches because of you people, you criminals. Netflix growth, subscriber growth has plateaued, and because it has plateaued, they now need to find ways of increasing revenue. So Netflix has invested a lot of money and is still investing more money into its own content creation, right? So all those shows, Money Heist, whatever, the rights to Squid Games, all these things, is investing millions or even billions of dollars. So again, they need to create revenue to be able to invest more into content creation so that they can continue to make money, right, and grow as a service. So that's why their prices have gone up. But then now my issue is in the way I'm looking at the media landscape at this point. We started out growing up, right? What was it? It was DSTV. Yeah, you pay for DSTV. You pay for your premium bouquet or DSTV compact or whatever bouquet suited your pocket, right? And you get all your channels.
Yeah.
You get your sports, you get your news, you get your movies, you get this, and that. 1,000,000+ channels. That's what we grew up on. That's what the whole world grew up on, right? All around the world, and different versions of DSTV existed all over. And obviously Netflix came in, and then Netflix changed the game up. And Netflix showed all of these studios, so you can actually make your own profit. So now what do we have? We have Disney Plus, we have Hulu, we have ESPN that has its own subscriber thing, Paramount Plus. What's another? I think Showmax must be. I don't know how Showmax works. I might not be right on that one. But like all of these studios and like companies have decided, you know what? Rather than the DSTV model, I can come up with a subscription, $8 to $15 a month, or $8 to $20 a month, right? There's HBO Max. Warner Brothers is HBO Max. So if you want to watch all your Harry Potters and DC movies and all that shit, you now get an HBO Max subscription, like or Matrix, Land, Godzilla. If you want Disney, you want to watch Lion King, you want to watch The Incredibles, you want to watch Marvel movies, now you got to subscribe to Disney Plus. So just those two alone, you're looking at about $30 to $40. Throw in Netflix, you're now over $50. Throw in sports, another sports package, which would probably cost you $10 to $15, you're now in the 60s to 70s. And then maybe some other shit that you're interested in. We're getting, can you see, like, we're kind of going full circle to where we were paying $100 anyway for cable, right, or DSTV. But now $100 is now divided in 10s and 15s and 20s. Like, do you think we're gonna get to the point where it's proper full circle, where someone just goes, you know what, fuck it, I just want convenience. I'll pay $100 a month. Just put everything all in one place.
that's not going to work with different companies, and all these companies negotiate with the different rights holders. So, for example, Netflix doesn't own the rights to Money Heist, right? There's a production company that owns the rights to Money Heist, and then Netflix licenses it from that company or that person.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, it's a Netflix original. Now, if it's a Netflix original, like, for example, Dave Chappelle stand-ups,
Yeah.
Netflix would own those rights, and then they can hold them for however, and then that's how they'll make money from it, right? So generally speaking, it'll be difficult. You're not going to consolidate all those. You're going to force too many companies to come to the table to sit and put or whatever, and the producers may not be comfortable with it, right? So it's a lot. And for producers, right, it doesn't make sense. I negotiate with Netflix how much I should charge them to put my movie on there, and then negotiate with HBO how much they should put the product on there, then negotiate with someone else in terms of how to do it, and then it just wouldn't.
But then
it wouldn't be value for money if we consolidate
how did quick cable come into play? How did DSTV even exist for them to have? Because obviously they had to negotiate with SuperSport, and then Mnet is its own thing, and then Cartoon Network is its own thing. So it's been done before. I feel like we're literally going to go back full circle to where we just want convenience. I can't have 10 different subscriptions.
Yeah, so the difference with DSTV is they had something that everyone else didn't have at the time, which was infrastructure. So they had cable, they had the satellites.
Yeah.
They would come and install the dish at your house, and then you'd have access to the channel. So they had a monopoly in that space, right?
Yeah.
So for a long time, they then would negotiate with the different companies. And if you were a company that owned a movie and you wanted to show it in South Africa, you had no choice but to either go to DSTV, SABC, or ETV. Those are the three platforms that you could negotiate with, and DSTV obviously offered more money for those rights. And they'll be like, okay, we'll put you on our platform. We're the only ones with the infrastructure in Africa. We'll put you on the platform and we'll pay you this much or whatever it is, right? And it worked for a while until the internet came about, right? Internet changed the dynamic. Everyone in their house now had Wi-Fi, and with Wi-Fi they had access to more content, and they didn't have to go through DSTV to watch their favorite shows. So then they could access Netflix, they could access HBO, they could even access pirated sites, right? And in that sense, we're not reverting back to the thingy model, the DSTV model, because DSTV, you watch whatever they tell you is available at a particular time. For a long time, that's how it was. Now, of course, there's Catch Up and there's Showmax. So Showmax is literally like Netflix. But Catch Up lets you watch shows that have been broadcast, and you can watch it for however amount of time that you want.
Here's the thing, right? So with me, what the reason why I'm seeing it go full circle, it might not be obviously the way that we used to do it, right? It might not be the old way, like how DSTV is set up right now. Like you said, very, very good point about they had the infrastructure, but now the infrastructure they have is obsolete. It doesn't matter, right? But I think this is where the Elon Musks of the world, there's a void right now, or there is going to be a void within the next 5 years, where someone who's really innovative, right, is going to look at this and just be like, there's a way to have all of these subscriptions in one place. So it'll be the cable, the DSTV type of setup ish, but it's going to be different in the sense that they're not really going to need. It's not going to be begging HBO and Disney Plus and Netflix for all of the rights to show this and that. It'll be some sort of platform where. And also, if we're out here inspiring someone to actually think about this and turn it into, you better give us fucking credit, otherwise we will sue the shit out of you. But anyway, but right. I think it will be something. Someone's going to come up with an idea where literally you will be able to get all of the content that you like and line it up for a convenient price as well. So that's what I mean. I think inevitably we're just gonna go in that phase, because initially when it was just Netflix, it made sense, right? Because it's just Netflix. It's $8 a month or even $15. It doesn't matter. It's okay. But Senna, it's $50. I have, in our home we have Netflix, we have OSN, which is another thing, which is kind of like Showmax-ish, and then we have Stars, and then we have Amazon Prime. And then we have...
and you're paying monthly subscriptions for all of those?
No. So for Amazon and OSN, we have a deal with my brother. My brother pays for Amazon. We pay for OSN. So we have each other's logins, right? Netflix, obviously, I'm the landlord there. So again, that's going to be another thing. The fact that, obviously people in the same region, Senek will now, when these bills start to add up, Laos are gents in SA, who's got a Lokuzen subscription, right? And then people will start switching around to say, okay, to try and minimize costs, Sena's going to pay for these two things, and then Lokuzen, when John uzapatala for these two things. You see what I mean? Like, we're going to get there. And then companies, obviously, because they want the revenue, will see that, and they'll be like, nah, we need to change things up. So I think either on the company end or on the consumer end, someone's going to get fed up, and because that individual is fed up, we're going to go full circle back to what DSTV was.
In that way, I don't think we will. But hey, look, I stand to be corrected. I think the one thing that a lot of people want is freedom of choice, and they want their favorite shows when they want them, right? Yeah. That's one thing that...
Now, we'll never go Netflix to a place where we're told, Uti, this is what you're watching, in terms of that, in terms of scripted television. I don't think we're going back there. I think we'll still, we're definitely going to head forward in terms of picking what we want to watch. But I just think in terms of EE subscription services, there's going to be some form of standardization. I just see it. I see that coming.
What I see happening, so DSTV at the moment, the only things keeping them afloat are the sports rights that they have, right? So they have a monopoly of, it's basically an exclusive right to broadcast the Premier League in Africa. So they have that like literally almost for the whole continent. And the difficulty and the tricky part for MultiChoice now is none of their other content is selling in the same way that it used to, because back in the day you had no choice. You had to sit and you had to go through all these channels and just end up watching some random movie you don't care about just because it's the one that DSTV made available. I think once, and I stand to be corrected, I'm not sure if this will happen, but once Amazon gets the rights to the Premier League, and I think they may at some point, gets the rights to the Premier League in Africa in the same way that I think Bein Sports is the one that has it in the UAE. Bein Sports has it in the UAE, and in the US, ESPN and Fox have some, right? So they share that in the UK. Apparently you can't just watch the Premier League, right? Certain slots belong to certain channels, and you literally pay per view, which is pretty fucked up. I think there'll come a point where maybe Amazon buys the rights from the Premier League or certain rights to Africa, and that'll literally be the end of DSTV. They won't afford to carry a lot of the content that they're carrying now. Literally, black subscribers who pay to watch football are the ones that are financing
everything
majority. And that's why they'll never move rugby or cricket off the premium channels, because once you move them from there, no one's gonna watch them, first of all, right? It will end up being a pay-per-view, and it'll literally, the money that they make and that they're using to fund those channels, the broadcast of rugby and cricket in South Africa, which doesn't attract as much attention, you'll find that over time it'll dwindle and pockets will run dry. I think once someone else gets those Premier League rights, I foresee trouble for that company.
No. I think
I suspect Amazon will be the one to do it. I think Amazon will be the one
they
to do it.
definitely have the revenue.
And I think the more they set up shop in South Africa and the more they figure things out, they'll be the one to access this market. And once they and once they start, commissioning South African content, that'll be the end. Because at the moment, Mnet has the right to your, Gomorrah and all that other stuff that people watch. And once that goes, I think we'll have a very interesting scenario.
No. I think within the next 5 years, by 2027, it's definitely. I think there's going to be seismic changes in media. The way that we're going, I'd be shocked personally. I'd be shocked if nothing has changed and we're just paying more and more subscriptions. Something is going to change, either pro consumer or pro supplier. And like you said, with the way Amazon is running, I can't remember what I was reading, so don't quote me on this, but it's something along these lines. So Amazon makes the profits off the current business that we know, right? And then they've got a cloud computing service, or they make it's either like they make all their money off of their cloud computing services, and then like the Amazon Prime, right, the video item, it's currently running at a loss.
Yeah.
But because they're making so much money in terms of their other revenue streams, they can actually afford to run it at a loss, create more content, and eventually, it's going to turn into something profitable. But right now, it's literally running at a loss. So I think sports rights might be it. And another thing is, American sports are becoming so much more global. People are starting to care more about American football. The NBA is a global game, and baseball's dead. But I think those two chief exports, that's another thing, right? The more the games grow, the more at DSTV, for example, they used to show NBA games. I don't know if the NBA is back yet on DSTV, but they stopped for a few years, right? But it's going to get to a point where DSTV will be losing out on a lot of money if they're not showing NBA games, But,
of course.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. I wish I worked in that industry, man, because I think it's truly fascinating what's probably gonna happen soon. But anyway, Mr. Moy, last word on the state of entertainment. Are you also a leech? You didn't answer that question.
Oh yes, I am. I'm a Netflix leech. Proudly been doing so ever since Netflix became a thing. So me and my sister bounce around different accounts depending on the state of our lives. So we're currently leeching also somewhere. We're also landlords with our DSTV somewhere. So act fine. I don't intend to open a Netflix account because I have a feeling I'm going to be a leech till Jesus comes.
Wow, said and you're proud of that.
In Millington, am I supposed to be upset? It's the way it is, dog. How much is it in rands? Probably like 300 and something bucks.
Jeez, that sounds like.
Guys, if I can save somewhere. I'm not sure how much it is. I'm just guessing.
You don't even know the price.
No, I don't. I don't even want to know. Otherwise, I'll feel bad. But I know. I know Showmax is $400 if you don't have DSTV Premium. So then your Showmax, then when you're paying for it like Drizzy, Manoro, it's like 4-clip. So that's the tricky part.
Yeah, no, that's a lot.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my view.
All right, fair enough. Let's transition. It was in case you didn't notice, on Monday it was the big day that we all look forward to every single year. The haters look forward to it. The non-haters look forward to it, and it just ends up being meh type of day for the most part. But for some people, it ends up being a very, very special day. It was Valentine's Day, so we're gonna get into, obviously, because that's something worth talking about. Nat tweeted, Huhudi, I'm tired of pretending like I hate Valentine's Day. Wow.
That was, you know what? Every year, I get reminded of what this whole thing is an agenda. I'm a capitalist. Do you know that song? Yeah, agenda. I'm a capitalist. I say funny agenda. I'm a capitalist. It's a struggle song. You guys should just Google it. It's there on YouTube somewhere. But basically, I was walking through the mall yesterday, and the amount of money that's being made off of this day is truly something special. It's amazing. Like some shops, I'm sure, just make money once a year. But before we touch on that, I wanted to touch on the South African company, Net Florist, right?
End of the year.
As you know.
Did they mess up people's orders again?
Yeah. You just go on Twitter and search for Net Florist. You will see the complaints. Everyone needs one Net Florist experience to never use Net Florist again. But I saw a guy who went under there who said, 2nd year in a row, Net Florist, I'm so disgusted. I'm like, my G. Honestly, at this point, it's your fault.
Yeah, no.
But for those who don't know, Net Florist, for those who don't know, Net Florist has something of, I won't say it's a monopoly, but they're the biggest florist company in South Africa. They deliver throughout the country or the main cities or the big cities. And yeah, man, you place your order, it reaches your person. Usually throughout the year, it's cute. There's different things they put together, and it looks nice, right? Yeah. The problem is, every year on Valentine's Day, they don't stop accepting orders, but then they never have capacity to fulfill all the orders. So naturally, what you're going to get is someone then saying, oops.
Someone's going to get upset.
Someone will get upset, and there's usually thousands of people that get upset. My delivery didn't come today. My girlfriend thinks I'm a liar. Whatever it is, Net Florist was meant to deliver, and it doesn't happen. It once happened to me. To be honest, I placed an order, and then on the day I was like, and then
when you told that story.
Yeah, then when you call it email, it happened to another one of my homies this year. I won't mention his name. But he said flowers and they delivered.
Someone was advertising Muti was selling fake COVID positive tests.
Bruh.
On the 14th of February.
So that you don't have to do these things. But anyways, if you guys are still using Netflix in 2022, please fix your life. Not that that company needs any more bad publicity, but you can use them on any other occasion throughout the year. But if you're using them for Valentine's, you're more likely going to get half the roses. Non-delivery is the most common one. Or the dead ones. But non-delivery is the most common one. They will literally just say, I will deliver the next day. And then, obviously, the 15th is not the 14th.
And then now she's left hanging there on poor girl. Now you must all the other girls are posting their flowers. You are just there on Instagram scrolling like a hater.
Did you see those posts where someone was like, Tina, so let's look at City Wow on Valentine's Day?
So that was bad.
Yes.
But now,
that was hilarious.
We are moving into the feeling station segment of this particular Valentine's Day chat. We have a listener of the podcast actually who is going to what can I say, share some insight into Valentine's Day heartbreak. It's deep. It's deep. I don't know the story in its entirety, so we're just gonna let the guests introduce them now, and I guess if the guest is ready, they can just jump on the thing, and tell us what happened, give us the context, and if me and Mr. Moyo need to go and hire some goons, I guess we can hire some goons, right? more justice.
As I'm going to go take out the person.
Exactly.
That a breakup? I think we have a situation right here. On the filling station.
Hey guys, you alright?
We're live
Why
and
you
kicking. Put some more
you
oomph
sound
into
so
it.
low. Yeah, if I give volume.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Choncha in.
Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, are you still depressed from the Valentine's situation? Kambanjani.
Oh, shut up. I'm actually not. It was years ago, but
we
still.
barely hear you.
Oh my god. How about now?
Yeah, it's a bit better.
Better. Just add some fire to the voice.
Yeah.
Okay, let
Volume.
me try and I'll shout something. Alright, more volume. Manje, so great.
Yeah.
So much
Alright.
better.
So
Wonderful. So good, sharp.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yeah. So we need to just confirm. We're keeping you anonymous for this, yeah?
Okay.
Do you want to be anonymous, or do you want the people them to know who it is?
It's up to you.
It's really up to you.
Nah, let's keep it anonymous for control because, boy.
Yeah, no. I think
Yeah.
I also recommend that because
Maybe halfway through the conversation, I might. Sorry, I'm saying maybe halfway through the conversation, I might change my mind. But for now, nah.
Okay. No pressure. You know, because I mean, Senna, if you remember when we did Spaces in December, someone also came and told the story, and they got into a bit of trouble when they came and told the story. Mm-hmm. So sometimes being anonymous is the best option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lifuna ngiqale nga.
Yeah. I was chilling in what pant? Give us some context.
Do you guys remember what it was like dating in high school? It wasn't like dating. It was just ukuthithwangi lo muntu, you know, ukuthithwangi le boyfriend.
It was a club thing.
It was literally a point. Yeah, it was literally appointments to go and get 1, 2, 3 kisses. Like, boy, it wasn't. It was never that deep.
Yep.
So it wasn't a serious relationship. It was just for kisses.
Do you know what I mean? To know,
just for a
you know,
child's
at the rugby games, you're wearing someone's jersey, and everyone's like, "Ooh, you know, she's wearing so and so's jersey." So, yeah, it was literally for that. So basically, I was dating this guy. Well, we're gonna use the word dating in it. So I was dating this guy, and I think I was in lower 6 and he was in upper 6. So siyajola cute nyana. It's like 2 months or something. If I'm being honest, like I was in a relationship, but was I really? But yeah, right?
Okay, wait, mana.
So
I'm just confirming. Sorry to just stop. So you were dating this guy, this upper 6 guy?
Yeah, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Yes.
Okay, all right. To the exclusion.
Was
of
it a
others.
publicly known thing?
Yeah, it was publicly known. Like, I know this is
okay.
This is so and so's muntu. It
This is
was
my
so
muntu.
known, Uti. It was so known, Uti. When Valentine's came and the thing that I'm about to explain happened, there were people who were like, who knew what was about to happen. This is how you know girls are messed up, because there were girls who knew that he was about to do this. And do you guys remember like Toastmasters back in high school?
Yeah.
You know, you have
I
those
used to
meetings
be-
and stuff.
I used to be in Toastmasters, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Senna, is this you?
Oh, hell no.
Now he went to the same school, so it could be you, nigga. Like, I'm tired of people that went to that school. Yeah, so
Okay, yeah.
so I'm
continue.
dating. Yes, so I'm dating my Senna, and like, we are boyfriend and girlfriend.
I like it. Let's call him Senna. Let's keep
Well
it
done.
Yeah,
Well
so okay, so yeah, we're jollering. So Toastmasters meeting. This is before the roses come, someone says, ha, namuhla, kulabo sisi abazitshelayo lapha esikolo lesi, namuhla bazadila labo. Literally, like, phambi I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean, hey. Not knowing that she's referring to me, she's like, I'm telling you, this is big. What's about to happen is like, it's manic. It's gonna be manic. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. These times, absolute dickhead. I've saved up pretty much in a pocket money. All my $1. I've sent this nigga 25 roses.
25 roses.
25 fucking roses. Bro.
Wait, the going rate back then. So I was in upper six in 2012. So roses were, I think, $1 a rose. So that was like $25, probably, unless it went up afterwards. But I think for us it would have been $1 a rose or $2 a rose, thereabout.
Yeah, something like that. So
how much
imagine.
did you pay for this nigga?
So minimum she paid $25.
I don't even want to think about it. Pretty much. Busy.
Okay, continue.
Supporting my mother here in the K asking for dole. Anyway, so now where am I? Yeah, so Valentine's comes. So I'm thinking everything's cool. A little bit of a 1-minute background story. There's some of his friends who are asking me out whilst I'm dating him. And one of his friends says to me the day before Valentine's, Huhudi, me and you will talk when you're single. I'm like, I have only been dating this guy 2 months.
Me and you will do what?
He'll talk to me when you're single. We'll talk when you're single, when you become single. This is the day before Valentine. One of his boys, who I thought, it just came up strange. But why are you talking to me like this? Yeah. So now Valentine's comes, and roses are sent out to, people in classes and stuff. Because I'm in lower section and I'm in Toastmasters, someone tells me and says, Zwana girl, you need to go to the, I'm gonna sell out the school, but anyway, whatever, this big tree that everyone used to go to get their roses or whatever. So I go there and someone's like, yo sis, like, there's a rose here for you and I need you to see it before it goes to the classes. So I'm like, what's in the rose? Obviously it would have been Usbani Bani who sent me the roses, and he's like, no, it's just one. I said, wani ulabanga. So I go there and I'm looking at the rose. So I go there and I'm like, and I open the rose and it says, you thought I wouldn't find out. You thought I wouldn't find something like, you thought I wouldn't find out. Well, I did, and it's over, right? And this is from the person to me, and I knew that this was him because his handwriting very like. So I knew. So the privileges of being a senior, I guess at that point, she says, take it away, we're throwing it out. Like, this also being a nice girl, there were girls who were looking out for me. If I was an absolute dickhead, there would have been girls who have been waiting, to make sure that everyone knew. But by the time I had seen it, bare people had seen it. So there's other girls coming up to me saying, oh, you're right. I'm like, are you joking? Like, so you're telling me bare people have seen this thing and it's only been an hour since the roses have come, or it was others, because I'm in lower six, right? So there's other upper sixes who've seen this and told other lower sixes, "What yo umganwen, yay!" So now I'm obviously confused. I'm flabbergasted. I'm like mad, and it's gone around the whole school. No one's seen this rose, but everyone knows that it's happened, right? And because obviously everyone can see that I'm distressed, I've been walking around really looking like, the world is over. So people know it's happened. They didn't have to see the rose. Like, and stuff like that. No, everyone saw that, but for my rose, no one saw it, but they knew it happened. So now, to confirm it happened, my G, the guy I dated, comes to our school around lunchtime, playing loud music around the school. And he has my 25 roses. If I get bonetti, guys, like for everyone to see.
Wait,
and
in full view of everyone.
Within the public, like, everyone can see this guy. The car is full of all his boys, so obviously, they had planned this. So he's just...
Wait, are you saying the roses were taped onto the bonnet?
Yes, Gucci.
In full view of everyone, so everyone must see.
In full view, everyone must see. So he is just lokuzaring. He's just they're slow driving, and then they're slow driving. This guy was slow driving around the school. Driving slow, and all my girls, bless my girls, man, they came to me. They're like, don't even worry. At this point, saying Lila, guys, like, I'm like, can you imagine? You like, your high school career is a big deal. Do you know what I mean? And I had built up this, big bad career, which and here comes the biggest Caiiro of all. I was big mad. So I get home now. Obviously, this has happened. My granny picks me up from school. We get home. So we get home, and this guy.
Can I just say, one of the biggest talents that you learn as a black teenager growing up is separating your school personality and your school life to home. So you could be going through the deepest heartbreak, but when you get home, you have to be fine.
Yeah, you have to be fine.
I wonder if people actually have like stories like that. But yeah, continue.
So I get home, he's messaged me now, and being a mature hand, he's like, can we talk? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? Then he goes, yeah, about today, I heard that you've been cheating on me. And I'm like, what do you mean you've heard I've been cheating on you? So I guess up until that point, I don't know, I hadn't really dated guys my age, if that makes sense. So at this point, he's probably heard that, I'm still seeing maybe one of the seniors that left last year or whatever, because this was 2012 probably. So it was a senior that would have left the previous year. So he's like, oh yeah, so I heard you're still in contact with this guy, and I'm like, over that guy who's gone to uni, fam. I called the brother and I'm like, look, this is what's happened, Jani. So this is how this guy saved my high school career. He goes on my ex's Facebook wall and says, little boy, I will F you up.
Oh.
Yup. Because we were still tight. I mean, we were still cool. And obviously, he knew how distressed I was about it and how embarrassed I was. And anyone who knew me in high school, no matter how much of a mbulu I was or whatever, knew that would have been totally out of my character. I was really umtakakuku, I was just but I was really dumb when it came to these things. So for someone to really accuse me of cheating was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, that's what happened. And after that, people were commenting saying, oh yeah, boys, we can sort this out, like, we're rugby boys, we don't have to do this, like, we're brothers. And I said I will F him up if he ever brings my name up in BS like that again. And that was how like the story kind of died down a bit, because now you've got obviously the boys who were still in school who really not looked up to their seniors, but had mad respect, especially like the cops and stuff. So this is an ex-cop coming to I guess a light telling me coming to the lighties and tuning. So all the other guys are like, yo, you need to make it right with that brother, because if he comes back from uni and he F's you up, like we're all gonna get into trouble. So yeah, he had to make it right with him. But Mina, saw him 2 years ago. Saw him 2 years ago in the UK, and we call my love back. Not to fall off.
How? So Usefuni love back now after everything?
Yeah. Can you imagine all of a sudden, because now he's here in the UK messaging me about, let's meet up. We just happen to be in the same city. So I said, yeah, we're actually having a pre-drinks just before we go out. Wow. You can come through. Yeah. He comes through and then he's like, what happened? he came through, but obviously now I asked him, so what happened? He's like, I was influenced. I was so young. Oh my gosh, Njani, try. And all my girls are like, what the hell? Yeah. It was interesting. Yeah.
So then what was
the
story? So he was upset at your ex, basically, or you for having an ex.
So you thought you were cheating with your ex at the time?
Basically.
Who is now
Yes. I suppose for him, I suppose for him, it was a bit embarrassing for his boys who were like, you're dating Ubani Gazbani. There's no way she would have, not been with that guy and gone for you. So let's deal with this item. I don't know what it was with your people's school. Like, yeah.
You know what the thing is with high school? It's it's never. So there were people who took dating seriously and people who unfortunately didn't. And people who viewed relationships as something to troll other people with. And then some people were just like, it's chill, guys, it's not a big deal. Even if a person dated Mang, they don't make it a big deal. And also I think at the time we're very immature and there's hormones and there's popularity contests and there's this. But whenever you had CBC boys in it, unfortunately, I'll say it's about my alma mater, there was just something about taking someone else's girlfriend which made you, if you were the taker, incredibly proud. And it became your thing to do. Guys would give you props if you did it because, hey, you child someone else's hand, whatever it is, right?
You snipe it.
Yeah, you snipe it. And I'm not sure if it was like that for like other schools. Because I know like whenever I talk to guys who went to boarding schools, they also tell you, hey, back then if you were hitting all the hands or, if you were Mbakwe and then you had a hand Mpandeni, for example, you had a girlfriend Mpandeni, or you had several girlfriends, you were the ish, right? At a sister school or at another school, you were the don. You get more respect, you get more points.
Yeah.
I just think Valentine's Day just revealed a lot of that sort of silly teenage thinking each and every time. And the roses thing.
But
the roses thing. I was fortunate at the time I was dating someone. I got roses. God bless. But I think for other people who didn't, that must have been like super hard.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I think, but you know what's funny about this whole story is that the ex commented on his Facebook wall. That's the funniest part. Because back then, we would do this stuff. Like if you go through your Facebook, because my Facebook has been inactive for years. So anytime I go, it's very easy to see my old shit, and we used to genuinely post on each other's wall. Bare people have seen, I jumped on Fezzi's wall sometime 3 weeks ago, and then someone had just posted on his wall, hey, how far, how ref? And the whole conversation started from that. Someone posted how rap, and there's 15 comments there, and it's I can't believe this was us, bro. So that really made me laugh, the whole Facebook comment. But to our anonymous contributor, would you say that at this point in your life you're over that, you've let it go, or do you still want to beat this guy up?
Did you have a better Valentine's Day?
Follow-up question.
This time around, years later.
I spent my Valentine's in the gym, but I think, I'm over that situation. I think for a long time prior to seeing my ex here in the UK, I still had a lot of chomloana for Segiak. But after seeing him and seeing where he is, I'm like, thanks.
Okay.
Like sharp.
Yeah, I'm just...
Like me, right?
Yeah, sharp. You're right, and yeah,
But right now,
I'm
right now
over
for
the
like
situation.
Valentine's, like yearly, right? Let's say in the last 2-3 years or so, right? Do you feel maybe you don't have to speak for yourself, but do you feel like there's a lot of girls feel a lot of pressure to have someone who sends them flowers, or like, or do you think that like most hands don't care? It's just if you get them, you get them. If you don't, you don't. Whatever, the next day will come type situation.
I definitely think there is pressure, but not necessarily for. Funny enough, not for the single girls. I dated this SDA guy. Yeah.
What? We didn't sign up for SDA slander.
I'm here for it. Shem.
Moving on.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's more embarrassing when you get those guys who are like, and this is your man. Imagine, I don't really believe in Valentine's. Valentine's is every day. Da, 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 da. That I feel like those are the girls that feel more pressure than the girls who don't have umuntu, because there's a community. It's like let's do something as girls for Valentine's, but for the girls that have boyfriends, the girls that have umuntu, I feel like they feel the pressure a bit more to show. If anything, I think Valentine's is the day that you prove that to umuntu. Do you know what I mean? Like all this talk about I'm in a relationship. Okay, let's see it on Valentine's Day then.
Hey,
and the girls feel the
pressure.
need to put it out there. Like, I'm not a single girl no more. I've got a man. And unfortunately, if your man is Mr. Oh, Valentine should be every day. Oh yeah, we're finna roast you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do girls feel that sort of pride in is it a pride thing? Because guys, to be honest, Valentine's can pass us by. Tina, if you don't get anything or you don't send anything, no one's going to look at you and be like, my G.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I've always felt that maybe with girls there's a whole feeling that potentially pressure corner is there from other people.
I think peer pressure. Yeah, from other people, from family as well, because a lot of girls, balobo auntie and stuff will tell them, ungabona ukuthengela amaluba, ungabona, all those little things. Because abona khona ukuthi don't get to the man who's not generous. So on Valentine's, this is the day where you actually have an excuse to buy me something. This is the day you have an excuse to actually buy me flowers. Just this one day, and you can't even do that. It kind of starts feeling a bit like, I think, this is where insecurities for some girls start to like creep up. If I'm being honest, just from conversations I've had with other girls, and those are the girls who also don't have, I suppose, effective communication with their man. To say, I think abafazi kumele babatshele amadoda ukuthi, look, on Valentine's I would like us to do something. It doesn't have to be anything massive. It doesn't have to be, something lavish. But can we at least do something? Because Valentine's means something to me. It's the girls abafela phakathi abathi hayi vele mina andaba. Then you see other babes being treated nice, and you're like, but then your man's like, but when you said you don't care, so walk on for this. I think it's a combination.
Obviously,
of things.
as a guy, if I have several girlfriends and I'm sending many roses to different hands on Valentine's at CBC, or I'm receiving many roses from other guys. In high school, it's like, my G, you're the ish, you're the one, you're powerful. Do girls get the same thing if you're like different guys are giving you that attention? Do you also feel cool, or do you feel slutty? It's the opposite kind of vibe.
If anything, you feel cool. You are the cool hun. Like, the only problem is the girls that don't get the roses, especially in high school. The girls that didn't get the roses would be the first to tell one of the guys that got you the roses, ukuthi phela usisi lwana uzuza mani awuswewethu. Because for them it's like, I didn't even get any roses, and here this hun is getting what 15 roses from different guys. No, I'm gonna mess up your game. I'm gonna tell the guys that you're out here. I'm gonna tell them that you're busy. And I used to hear a lot from the guys. Uchi uzbani bani told me.
Girls be haters like that.
You said a little bit. Our school was full of them. I'm not gonna lie. And next thing you know, it's break time and people are confronting each other. Uchi, when a big mouth, you went to so and so and told him that I got bare roses. No one else. Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't tell him. Who else would have said something? Because it has to come from someone from the school. And then you show the girl the screenshots, the messages, and it's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. And then beef starts. Girls don't like each other anymore. There's, it was a lot.
No,
it was a lot.
But thank you. We appreciate you taking a bit of time out of your day to come hang out with the Cheese Boys, telling us your story. I mean, that shit is crazy, bro. I'm still kind of shook over that. It's.
You should sue some people.
Yeah, definitely.
Pain and suffering.
Definitely. Just DM Senna.
Yeah.
And then we can start working on your.
First, I need names just to complete the story in my head.
Oh. Yeah, I figured you'd want to know the names.
But yeah, no. Thank you. Definitely, we appreciate that. But yeah, thanks for coming through. And next time you have a story, pull up on us. We're always ready.
I hope Njolo's treating you well. Or hope it treats you well going forward. Cross fingers, prayers up.
Definitely.
Amen. I don't want to be on siyazama again.
Nah, you're good. But anyway, alright, Sakulu sharp, yeah?
Cheers, guys.
Alright.
Mr. Maps, moving on.
Yeah, that's shit.
Niggas ain't shit.
Nah, niggas ain't shit, bro. CVC boys ain't shit. Out here giving Ama cousin grief, bro. Like, how you tape Ama roses on the bonnet, dog?
For what reason? Well, I guess it's to kind of show, I don't know, just being a dickhead, to be honest. It's really just being a dickhead.
No, it's immature. And anyway. And the one was like an upper 6, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she was now in lower 6, so... Hey, kunzima emhlabeni lapha thapha.
Yeah, I know, Mjolo. From high school, Mjolo was never easy. It was a scam. Mjolo's never been easy, bro.
To be honest, it's better now. I think back then it was... Nah, it's better. No, it's much better now. To be honest, now... It's dude, you could wake up in high school, someone's talking about your girlfriend being child by someone else, and now the rest of your day is ruined, and you have to go home and be fine. And then when you confront the person, there's nothing you can do, and they're just like, it is what it is, and they move on, right? You're dealing with all those emotions and all of it, and you mustn't take it seriously, but unfortunately at that moment in time you do. This didn't happen to me. I just observed all these things. I was just innocent bystand. But yeah, man, like it was the jungle back then. People have matured. If they're doing you dirty now, it'll probably hurt more because it's a character flaw of that person that they probably haven't grown out of. Back then, it's just immaturity. So it happened more often.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Speaking about maturity, one thing that we were definitely I wanted us to touch on just briefly would be Ubaba Uket Zouma. So for those who listened to last week's episode, obviously you remember us talking about Kurt Zouma. Long story short, he was caught on camera essentially abusing his cat, right? So he kicked it, he slapped it, chased it. It was just all in all a bad look for a pet owner. And obviously the world was infuriated when we talked about this last week. I think it had just dropped the night before or something like that. So there was a lot of developments that have happened in the last 7 days since we recorded. Namely, he was dropped by a few sponsors. I think Adidas was one of his sponsors that had like a shoe deal with him. They dropped him. I think another sponsor dropped him, and then another partner for West Ham wasn't satisfied with West Ham's reaction to him doing this. So again, it was a pretty, and he got a heavy fine at the end of the day from West Ham, which was 2 weeks' wages, which was about £250,000. So it went from, okay, yeah, like what Senna was saying, would you know he should be punished, have the cat taken away, some like just kind of basic stuff that we would expect of that type of crime, to all the way up to the steepest fine, that's ever been imposed for something similar, when obviously people started to compare to say, hey, Uzbanibani made racist comments and they were, fined a fraction of that. And so there was now a lot of this comparison that was starting to go on. Is it because Zouma is black that all of a sudden, all these sponsors and, society is so willing to cast him out and, have him sacrifice his bag and all these other things? Had it been, a non-black individual, or had it been racism rather, than animal cruelty, would the response have been this heavy? Would it have been this uniform, at the end of the day? But Mr. Moyo, your thoughts on what you saw over the last 7 days with regards to Mr. Zouma?
So I think it's important, first of all, to say there's nothing justifiable about what he did. He was definitely in the wrong. There's no excusing it. Look, it's a form of animal cruelty. He was bullying a cat, right? Let's get it out of the way, first of all. I think last week I said punish him, even if he's suspended for a game or two or whatever, but fine him, punish him, and then he comes back, right?
So were you happy with the fine that he received?
Yeah, I felt it was warranted, right? It's a 2-week fine. It's a 2-week fine on his wages, which is, it's fine. It is what it is. I felt the sponsor started dropping him after the fine, which I found incredibly surprising, but at the same time, not surprising, right? So they drop him after he's been punished by the club, the maximum fine they can impose, after he's already, I think, agreed that he'll undergo some sort of counseling. He's going to lose his cats as well, because apparently he is an animal lover, and to lose your cats is like, okay, he'll probably be prevented from owning cats again. Sharp, cool. I feel he's suffered the unfortunate consequence of being a black man who stepped out of line. And whenever that happens, and we see it all the time, when Pogba does something, it's reported widely, he's accused of being a diva, spoiled, flashy, all these things. The moment you step out of line, they will rain down on you in the UK.
Yeah.
And what he's done, unfortunately, is step out of line. He hasn't been the N'Golo Kante that he's supposed to be. Good black man who's very modest, follows the rules, non-controversial, non-flashy, humble. He did something wrong, but they feel like the club have not punished him enough. They feel like this is the worst thing that could ever happen. A black man who dares to do something wrong. Obviously, England's an animal-loving nation. They, and this is not just England. I think it's many cultures. They're very animal-loving, and they put animals right on the same pedestal as humans, which it's a conversation we can have. I don't want to have a whole animal rights and human rights conversation, but they put animals at that same level, some even higher. And unfortunately, you have people that feel like he has committed the worst crime ever, when in reality he hasn't, and the punishment is probably sufficient. Yeah, Vitality dropped West Ham as a sponsor. Just like
like proper, similarly, permanently. I thought they said they were looking at this the landscape.
Oh, they suspended their sponsorship until
Yes,
West Ham
yes.
does something, of which West Ham had already
Yes.
punished him. So it's like, okay, what's happening here? Like, he's been punished, so you want further punishment. Why do you want further punishment when he's already been punished? What's the issue? Anyways, that's my 2 cents. I just think he's been punished, but at the same time, he's a black man who stepped out of line. So it's like, he needs to lose everything. How dare he?
But you know what I've seen, and initially I was like, whoa, what's going on? Why are we going all the way with Zouma? Like, again, he made a mistake. He's been fined. I think 2 weeks was a lot. It should have just been a week's wages, but whatever. That's fine. That's a discussion that can be had, and people move on, right? But at the end of the day, this is what I've realized. It reminded me of a time where I was in the States, yeah, and I was in a supermarket, and I was, I don't know, in the fridges section or whatever. I was in a random aisle, and there's this white lady that was also doing her own shopping, and okay, cool, whatever. See a white lady, it is what it is, and she had a pram, right? So she's pushing her stroller and going about her business, and then at some point we happened to be walking towards each other, right? And then we got within one step of each other at some point. I don't know what, in terms of picking our groceries at that point in the aisle and whatever. So I see a pram. So obviously, as remember we were talking about in terms of when you expect in the beginning, when you expected to see something and you get shocked with what you find. So obviously, Sena, ungawona a stroller, right? What do you assume?
A baby.
Yeah. So in my mind, and then how you can have the stroller kind of cover cover the open part, right? So you couldn't really see, but it was more of it wasn't like a straight up covering of the stroller. It was like a net-ish type of thing cover, right? So good as color, which you can kind of see what's inside, right? And then obviously at this point I'm one step away and I caught a glimpse of the stroller. So I looked down, right, thinking, okay, cool, it's a kid inside. And to my shock, it was a little puppy, fluffy little small, I don't know, chihuahua, I don't know what they call them, right? And I was shocked. I was like, what the fuck? Not that it's a dog. Yeah, okay, cool, it's a dog, but a dog in a whole pram. You know what I mean? I was like, what? So obviously, over my time in the States, I did learn that a lot of people, primarily white people, treat their pets like equivalents to human beings. Equivalents, right?
Yeah.
So
Of course they do.
the same way, if the pet died or whatever, she would go through the same level of grief as if a human being died. Of which, for me personally, I can't relate to that because I think human life and animal life are two different things. If my pet died, and I've had pets die that I loved dearly, my dog Rex, loved him to bits, grew up with Rex, right? When he passed away of old age, I was really, really sad, right? But there's no way I can compare Rex to my siblings or any family. It's different. I don't think you can compare because it's apples and oranges, right? But then what I learned over there is that no, it's apples to apples for some people. If anything, it's the pets are more precious than human life, right? So then, obviously, when I recalled that story, thinking about all this reaction to Zouma, I was like, you know what? Low key, it makes sense. It makes sense why they're coming for him like this. And one thing I've seen, if you look at a lot of, movements, typically, it'll get a lot of attention and I guess action again in terms of where we are with cancel culture and shit like that. If you have white women on your side, primarily, right? If they are affected and they're vexed and they're like, nah, fuck this shit, right? You're in big trouble. There's a lot of different people in the world that you can offend, right? And kind of sort of get away with it to a certain degree. But if that demographic is primarily or includes a large base of your white women, you're in big trouble. Like huge, trouble. They can proper take your back. That's one thing that I've seen. If you think about certain times when certain people have been cancelled, if they led that movement, it's a swift. That one is a deadly movement. That one, like it's just one of those things, and which is why I said now if you compare it to like a racism incident, yes, there will be BLM will be there, all this other shit. Like people will be pissed, right? But sponsors are not gonna pull up that quickly, obviously they'll figure out ways. Vitality will have a conversation with West Ham and hey, let's do you know what I mean? Like they first assess the situation and be like, okay, can we keep the guy? Can we keep this athlete on, or is it a dead situation? PR comes like, no, this is dead. Lost him. Then they lost him, right? But
Suarez continued to have a big ass career after his race. After he was found guilty of racism, by the way, right? And so after a whole investigation said, no, you're guilty of racism, he continued to have a prospering career. He played many, many games. Same thing with John Terry. Same thing with a couple of other guys. Nike waited a couple of days before they dropped Mason Greenwood after his whole rape incidents.
Really?
Yeah, United released a statement. Then United suspended him. And then from there, Nike only dropped him, I think, sometime during the week. They said, no, we're monitoring the situation. We are aware that one of our athletes is involved in this. And I think after 3 days, that's when they said he's no longer a Nike athlete. Only after he was charged, right? So the problem with this, and the problem that Moyes finds himself in, is the police said, no, it's not worth investigating. We're not going to prosecute this matter. It's not a big deal. So the law is clear on that, right? The cops can't do anything about it. It's like, animal cruelty. The SPCA came because they look after animals and all that thing. They took the pets. Fair enough. The club are like, the cops said nothing. The league has said nothing. Tina, we fined the guy. He's a player under contract. He cost us 30 million. Let's move on with life. And that's why Moyes is like, guys, I have him available. He's fit to play. I'll play him. And that's unfortunate. And I think, it's like I said earlier, just dare step out of line as a black man. Uzabona. Think back to, and this is everyone who ever went to like a private school or whatever. Think back to primary school or high school, even in high school, especially in high school. Some of the things that the white guys used to get away with, there was no way as a black kid you were surviving that.
Nah, you're out of there.
You're out of the school faster than you can say, please can I call my mom?
Yeah.
Literally, you're gone. and like literally, those were some of the things. And it wasn't even like, I'm not talking like a huge behavioral, incredibly crazy thing. I'm talking about the random things white kids would do in class, like noise making. All of a sudden, when you're sent for detention because you and your friends are having a chat outside, let a white kid literally disrespect the teacher in front of him. All those black teachers, keep quiet. Mang. I almost mentioned a surname and I was like, let me keep quiet. But it was little things like that where they were probably scared or told there's just that mentality of lapanyasaba. When I step out of line 2 seconds, Dan, I remember this one. This one there, white kid farted in class. I won't even lie. This white boy farted in class. We all knew who it was. It was a huge. Teacher was very uncomfortable. Who did that? I went back. Hey, when I don't do it again. Okay, sharp, cool. It once happened in another class. To that teacher's defense, was a different teacher, but it was a black guy. He did the exact same thing. Farted after break. All of us were sent to Mr. Songo's office.
For cuts?
Yeah. Because we're disrupting the lesson. And I was like, okay. It is what it is.
It honestly, it really is like that, right? And then I completely agree with you. Like if you think about, our experience, Whitestone and CBC, right? Put that all together.
Yeah.
And think about.
Dude, at Whitestone we were called the Rowdy Bunch, and I'm like.
Rowdy. No, but I'm saying it in terms of reaction, right? look at the naughty white guys that we had, high school, primary school, the naughty guys, right?
Yeah.
Compare their crimes, right? And then compare what a black kid would typically do, right? And look at the reaction. Like some of the things that a certain, did he come from Whitestone? I think he did. There was a certain guy, this kid, like he didn't give a fuck about school, right? And at CBC, I think he was like busted for like smoking weed or something. I can't remember. Back when smoking weed was like, oh shit, that smoking weed was like, sniffing cocaine type shit. In the beginning, there, 4.1, Form 2, like it was nah. If you touched weed, obviously by the time you was going to upper six, it was a different story, right? But like you smoked weed when we were in Form 1 and Form 2, really, it was just you were trash, and he was busted for that. And he was sent to Tomo's office, he got cuts, and then, back to class. Right? But I'm just thinking to myself, would you been a black kid? Really, it's what could you like really you need to call the rains, what the fuck are you niggas doing there? Like all this other shit, all this other reaction. And which is why I'm just like, again, Zouma, I think it was just one of those things where it's just like bad timing and you just have the wrong color of your skin.
Remember
and
that episode
also
when
the fact
Nani
that,
was here? And he mentioned the weed incident. I would not be surprised because obviously there were also white guys who were implicated in that whole thing, right? When they did the test, white guys were also tested, returned positive results for marijuana. I think that may have saved a lot of people. In the sense that I don't know. Look, I don't know for sure. Look, this is me just speculating and running ideas through my head. Just thinking about it in hindsight.
So if you think it was just Dakis,
maybe it was just
late.
If it was just Dakis and was a few of them, hi, gone. I'm telling you now.
They would have made an example like right.
There was literally a guy, or maybe CBC had a zero tolerance for theft. Unfortunately, I know this guy in Form 3 who stole a phone. He was gone. Literally, the day school found out. Some other one. Day the school found out he was gone. He left the school. The very next day, he was expelled. I was like, yo.
With the swiftness.
I was like, okay. With the swiftness. I mean, but
obviously,
the school had a
like
zero
that,
tolerance for that.
Yeah. So you can let them slide. But I mean, there's lots of examples that you can look at. But I mean, I thought it was definitely interesting to me in terms of this reaction to Zouma. I think it's definitely gone overboard. The man has learned his lesson. He's sorry. People should be allowed to move forward. And this is another thing as well that I think, and I think about this a lot, right? When it comes to cancel culture, I don't believe that you can get rid of someone, right? Which really doesn't help because you're supposed to help the person reform. That's number one. Two, like with the Mason Greenwood thing, I saw an article that said he's been scrubbed completely from FIFA 2022, right? So from FIFA 22. And to me, I'm just thinking to myself, no, like I would actually do the opposite. When someone does something like abuse a woman, rape a woman, right? Or, animal cruelty in the case of Zouma. If you want to hurt them in the pocket, right? Absolutely, you can take that money away from them. But I think if FIFA came out, it would be so much more powerful. If not FIFA, but if EA Sports came out and said, we're keeping the Mason Greenwood character as his likeness as a player, he will be playable. And all of the proceeds that he's meant to receive from being on FIFA, we're sending that to organizations that help rape victims and help domestic abuse victims. You know what I mean? Like, you take that money, take their bag, sure, but like, take that extra step to be like, okay, we're gonna apply this to something that actually, So with that £250,000 that they find Zouma, that's going straight to the SPCA. I think that's so much more impactful in terms of at least
than any punishment.
It's terrible. People do these things. It's absolutely terrible. We need to get it out of society. But when they do, right, it's literally generating money for these organizations to have more impact when it comes to these things. Not just, hey, and that's the end of that. And then he doesn't, because that person still exists, right? If someone is an abuser, like, they're an abuser whether or not they're in the spotlight or not. They're an abuser, and are we saying as a society that our bad apples, we just want to toss them and pretend that they don't exist? So just because send us not on social media anymore, who send us a shop, like, no, like, those are the people that need the help, at the end of the day. And and if we can take their bag and put it towards something productive, I think absolutely, I think that's worth it.
It works.
It works. It works. But anyway, Mr. Moy, let's talk about our favorite toxic man. No, actually, our favorite is Future, right? Second favorite, but not actually. He's our favorite right now because this man is a wildin', bro. What's Kanye doing, bro?
Dog, your boy. You know what? So apparently Kanye has bipolar, right?
Oh, he is.
He is bipolar, yes. For those who don't know, and sometimes I have to like make sure I'm very careful how we define these things so that I don't. So it's a mental health condition that causes extreme mood swings. So that includes emotional highs, aka mania, hypomania, and then also incredible lows, right? So that person can go from being super happy, super chuffed, and super okay, and then to just being depressed, hopeless, lonely, and at times they even they just start behaving in a way which isn't exactly doesn't conform to society or societal norms and stuff like that, right? So Kanye has that that condition, but he's diagnosed, he has medication, I believe, and I think he probably has access to the best doctors. So him and Kim separated. Him and Kim are getting a divorce, and he's now resorted to harassing her online. So he's having meltdowns, right? Every day Kanye's posting something wild. He's attacking Kim's current boyfriend, and it's literally bordering on.
Can I just point of order, honorable member, point of order. This the boyfriend, his name is Pete Davidson, yeah?
Yeah, that's his name.
I think that's his name. How the fuck did that man land Kim? I don't get it. I really don't.
Does he have money? He's got money.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's in movies. He was in Suicide Squad, but also he was a very whack character in the Suicide Squad. So like, again, I don't follow him like that in terms of his other roles, but he's not Tom Cruise, right? So like, also when I heard initially that he was with Kim, I was like, there's no, like, I feel like part of me, like 30% of me feels like she's doing this just to fuck with Kanye, like just to fuck with his man completely, like, and it's doing the job.
But maybe she's just moving on, because he also moved on. He was also dating someone, wasn't he? Dating Julia Fox until
but like
a couple of days ago. So,
but he just doesn't fit the bill. Like when you think of, if someone to say Kim Kardashian as his boyfriend, before Kanye it was the NBA guy, right? Humphries, and it's like, okay, fine, he's an NBA player, and like other people, Ray J, rap star, like I don't know. I don't know. This one just doesn't. It looks so off to me, It just,
hey dog, when
whatever.
When I'm a type, I can leave her heartbroken and they treat her like shit. So at times you must deviate.
Also, you scheme Guti, it's a hard left because she's tired of Goish.
Hey, Angaz. I don't know, but she's with the guy, right? I don't know why people date the people they date, to be honest. People make decisions. But he's having a meltdown. Like the other day, I think he told Pete that he will never meet his kids. He started posting pictures. That time he has a girlfriend, right? He starts posting pictures of him and Kim and the kids together. He's like, I want our family back. And he's just basically been harassing her online every single day for the last week, or almost every single day.
You see that screenshot about when Kim was asking him, why do you keep publicizing our private conversations?
And then you took a screenshot of it and posted it.
And it's like, because I'm like your number one fan and something. I was like, yo, this is so twisted, bro. Like,
Scary
really
though.
does need help. Yeah, nah, he does.
This is coming across as a bit stalkerish and weird. But anyways, I think he needs to let that shit go. But also, I think she'd be best served going to the cops or something like that. I mean, these cases, if they're not doing it as a publicity in Dondoli, right? These cases can become incredibly dangerous. Like OJ used to stalk his ex-wife until she mysteriously died from a knife attack. To which, to this
But
day,
he was innocent.
we do not know
Hey,
who
don't
committed
please.
that
OJ
crime.
was innocent according to the eyes of the
Hey,
law.
that's why I said to this day we don't know who committed that crime. Not that the two stories are parallel, but I'm just saying. Saying.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, utwelenzi Kimbali.
Guys, don't deal with heartbreak like that.
Yeah, no. It's not cute.
Leave
It's
them
not
alone.
cute. You're not coming over as, but also it's I'm guessing it was a toxic situation, and Kim had the sense to be like, you know what, I'm taking myself out of it, but like it's difficult, but it sucks when you're in the public eye, because now all your shit is on Front Street, and then
And there's
people
kids
can just
involved.
laugh or screenshot and whatever. Yeah, and the kids, and I'm sure they have access to social media, and they're worried about their dad and their mom, and it's just it's messy. It's real messy. But anyway, Mr. Moy, real quick before we get out of here, where was it? South Africa legalizes sex work. You wanted to talk about
So the
this.
government is thinking about legalizing
Thinking
sex
about
work.
or it's done.
No, it's not done. They're considering it. They're actually opening discussions
Okay.
about it. So at this moment in time, it's illegal, right? So it's illegal.
So would they tax it?
Sorry?
Would they tax it if they legalize it? Is that taxable income?
Yeah, it will be. It will be taxable income. So at this moment in time,
Yo.
it's illegal. So everything, when you see sex workers in South Africa, just know that it's backdoor. It's no one's out there doing it. And if cops aren't arresting them, probably cops are in on it. They're taking bribes. They don't care. They have other crimes to worry about. I don't think at times sex work is up there in terms of the highest priority crimes. But yeah, look, we're now at a point where they're really thinking about it. A lot of people are against this. A lot of people are for this. Just to explain the status quo, it's currently illegal because one, obviously the relationship between law and morality. So a lot of our laws are dictated by people's moral stance, which I think for a very long time has been no to sex work, right? Because conservative society, traditional, all those things. But at the same time, there was a fear that it could open the doors for human trafficking, because once you legalize something, there's already a demand, but the demand once something is legal immediately goes up, right? Because now the constraints of the law are no longer there. You have every Sipho and Jabulani who want to, get in on it. You're going to open the doors to exploitation of women and more human trafficking and all these things. So that's why it's always been like that. But obviously the positive is you need to give people freedom of trade the same way I use my hands and my brain for my job. Let someone else use another part of their body to do theirs. And obviously boost the economy, let people make money, however. Mr. Maps.
But how are you reporting that income is my question.
What do you mean, how are you reporting it? You're reporting it as income. The same way, I don't know, a strip club would report their income. You're providing a professional service.
Okay. So you would be reporting that you make X amount of money to the government.
Yeah,
okay,
to the
cool.
government.
I'm a sex worker. I make, 10,000 rand a month from sex work, essentially.
Or maybe you're employed by Tabo's Pimp Services, right? And they pay you a salary.
Why does they buy pimp service? Get out of here.
And they pay
Okay,
you
so
a salary, and
so
then
obviously
that'll be taxed in accordance
So
with
now
the
there'll
income
be
tax brackets.
there'll be legal escort companies that will probably pop
Yes.
up where that's gonna happen,
100%.
and then
Yes.
they're still good. But then now you're still gonna have those who want to freelance, right? And why would I want to report myself? At the end, because now the cops are not going to be looking for me, right? They're not going to be checking for me. So why would I want to voluntarily pay taxes on this revenue that I'm creating for myself?
Why would you want to voluntarily create revenue for it?
No. Why would I want to report to the government that I am a sex worker when that's taxable income?
Oh,
Whereas
okay,
I
'cause
could just
you'd be
continue,
protected.
since now it's legal, I can just continue doing what I do, and I know even if the cops drive past, they're never going to be like, hey, you're going to jail or whatever. I'm
No,
good.
true.
What's the
That
incentive?
could still be a thing. So then you'd just be like any other tax defaulter. And they'll treat you as such.
Okay. Not it. Siyabonga education, Mr. Moy.
Before we go, I have one siyazama actually. I'd forgotten about it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'll be very quick though. From Anonymous, yes, I won't say who it is, came through my Instagram, said, so I have a very close friend of mine who asked for a huge sum of money last year. The person begged and promised to give it back at the beginning of December. So they asked for this money in November. He didn't say anything. And on the 5th of December, I kept quiet in the hope that he was getting his coins together, right? So it's now past the deadline date. So obviously we're now in early December. So this person is now thinking, all right, the person will send the money back. We got to late December, still no money. Late December.
Did they specify how much money it was?
No, they didn't specify how much it is, but it's a huge sum. Just think huge
Okay.
in your context, and I think huge in my context.
I would never lend huge in my context. Never.
Neither would I. Anyways, late December, I asked for the money, and he said he was going to the bank to fix his card, and he would get back to me. But again, he didn't. Beginning of January, I asked again, and he said he was sending the money through PayPal, but his card was having problems. A few days later, he stopped replying to my messages and went missing. He later came after a week and said he was stressed because he had lost a family member, because his dad had been given a few months to live, which is legit because obviously if you're a friend, you know this. I feel bad and really sorry, but I really need my money back. So my question to you guys is, what should I do? How would you approach the situation? Because I really want it back. Hey, Mr. Maps.
What piece, bro?
Hi, okay, that's extreme.
No, for real. Get him. Get the law. Get the cops involved. Because what the fuck? Like, I with issues like this, people can already predict where my position would be. I don't think, it's difficult, right? I don't think you can leverage the bad health of a loved one when you owe money, especially if it's a significant amount of money to someone else, right?
Yeah.
So it's just not right. Listen, I know things are tough for you, right? But at the same time, it does not justify you making things tough for somebody else. So
Yeah.
just because and it's just a fucked up message. Uguti, for someone being kind and trying to be a good Samaritan and help a friend out, their payment is not getting their money back. And now they have to make a plan B for who knows, what if that money was meant to go towards a down payment for a car, a house, investment, who knows what the money could have been for. But now that person's plans are on hold.
Yeah.
Because
you owe
said
the money.
individual is being selfish.
So the best way to counter someone who's trying to emotionally blackmail you is sometimes to emotionally blackmail them back so that they can see that so that they can see that they're not the only
those
ones with
guys.
problems.
No. Those type of characters, in my experience, Senna, those type of characters don't give a fuck. They don't care.
So
How about
what
that?
are you? So what's your solution to it? Just keep asking for
Which
it.
is why I say get the cops involved. Nah, get the cops involved. I'd even exaggerate to the cops. Bimbope, arrest the guys because
He stole it.
trust me. No, honestly, it's Ubusela. And it's the only way. At least, guys, feel free to add us.
But I mean,
there's another way to go about this.
That could end the friendship.
If
right?
if you try, but they've already dug the grave of the friendship by
No, but
convincing us.
what if you genuinely
to lend
still
money.
want? But what if you still want that person in your life, right? So this may
Why
not
would
be.
you want that person in your life?
But this may not be a deal breaker for that person, right? So it may still be, look, I still want to be your friend, but just pay me my money, right? Like I still want to be cool, but pay my money.
Nah. If I lend you a huge amount of money where I've sacrificed my own financial well-being and you fuck me over, essentially what you've just said is that you don't give a fuck about this friendship. That's what you've said to me. And if you don't give a fuck about our friendship, why should I? Why? It doesn't make sense.
But like I said,
so
for you, that's them not giving a fuck about the friendship. To them, that's just you going through something, but I still need, and you're not prioritizing my.
Maybe if they feel that way, then okay. But
and that's why
there's
I
no
said
emotional blackmail that you can do to the other person.
No, that's why I said the best solution, not necessarily emotional blackmail, but vugalawe and create your own urgent situation as to why you need the money. So I need to pay school fees. Imali short, give me my money, or I'm getting kicked out.
Then they leave you hanging, bro.
True, they could.
I'm telling you, I've been there, bro. I've been there. Like before you even leave. I don't think I've ever told you this, but maybe I have. There's this dude in uni. Maybe I even told you on the pod. But tell me if I had, right? Stop me if I have. We so obviously I went to school in Buffalo, yeah, and Buffalo is about a one and a half hour, let's say, I can't remember the exact, but let's say 1.5 hour drive from Toronto. Yeah. So obviously I'm a big NBA fan. The Toronto Raptors are based in Toronto. So I had an opportunity to go to a Raptors game, right? And he's a basketball fan as well. So we were in the same dorm. I think this was my last year in uni. Yeah, this was my last year in uni. My last semester even. So I'm like, hey, dude, let's go to Toronto. Let's catch a Raptors game, right? He's like, oh shit, yeah, dope. Let's do it, right? So I do the planning. We were gonna rent a car. I was gonna rent a car. We'll drive to Toronto, watch the game, grab some food after, and come back, right? So he's like, cool. So I think the math added up to, I can't remember, but he owed me $88, right? So he's like, dude. So just go, because I needed to secure the tickets, right, and the car. So he was like, no, I get paid, because we got paid bi-weekly, right? So he's like, no, I'll get paid like end of the week, and this was like a midweek trip. So he was like, no, can you just pay for this, and then when I get paid my check on Friday, I'll send you your money. I'll cash app you. I'm like, okay, fantastic, no problems. He was a good guy. I liked him, whatever. And then we go to Toronto, we have a good ass time, watch the game, and then, I drive back, and we're good. Hey man, this was a fun night, deuces, sharp. Friday comes, hey brah, so that $88. And again, $88 as a student was a lot of money. And at the time, I used,
lot of money.
I had like a credit card. I think the limit on the credit card was like even, I don't know, like $200 or $500. It wasn't a lot, right? So I put everything on my credit card, and then obviously I pay back my credit card, and then usele $8 liana. So I'm like, hey chief, I need that money. Hey bro, hey, they didn't pay me. What? They said I should come on Monday. I'm like, first of all, we get the same check, but okay, whatever, cool. It is what it is. I wait until Monday. Monday, bump into him because we're in the same dorm. Chief, how far? I need that money. And this was now towards, I think, maybe 2-3 weeks before the end of the semester and me leaving America forever, right? So Monday comes, brah, how far? Nothing. He's giving me more excuses. And he knows that I'm leaving forever. Like, I'm not coming back. and he started ducking me, and I did the same thing that you just said. I created urgency. I was like, hey, chief, listen, I'm going back to Africa, and I really need all the money that I can get, blah blah blah. I leaned into that whole I'm from Africa shit. Man didn't give a fuck. Hey, I need to pay my bill for my credit card. Didn't give a fuck. Like nothing. It literally, I chased him for what, half the time. And then at some point, I was like, you know what? Fuck you, bro. I'm going. Left it. Then on the last day of the semester, I texted him. I'm like, bro, this is my last day. Can you just cash at me, please? I don't get it now. Like, it's been a month. Just give me my money. See, man left me on red. Nothing. Like, bruh, these people, you have to get them arrested. They'll make you twice. They'll make you look twice. Like it's not even a conversation for me. Like from my experience, these niggas don't give a fuck about your situation. You could be paying school fees for your child. They will leave you hanging, bro.
But and then that's where my child is. You gotta balance with them. If they're your friend and you still care about them, that's where it becomes a bit more sensitive than just approach authorities. Or maybe approach an authority, not necessarily the police.
I thought we were friends. He was a really cool guy. I really thought maybe he didn't think we were friends, right? But then also, like, I don't know. But at that point, I checked out because I was like, then fuck you then, nigga. Like,
that's why I said maybe it might be worthwhile approaching an authority, like not the cops, maybe an elder, to be like, hey, guys.
The cops. Not straight to the cops. I'm posing.
Yeah, when we let trauma.
Nah, bro.
But I get what you mean. Look, I've got people that I've lent money before, and then they just go quiet, not because they've forgotten, but in the hopes of what you've forgotten, or you'll just let it go. It's not a nice feeling.
You don't forget.
Especially if
he's great. You don't forget, and unless it's like sometimes it is like, for example, if Senate, like, I don't know, bought me a 6-pack of Hunters or whatever, I don't know, something like that,
pays the bill,
then I'll forget. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shit like that I would forget. But like if Senna literally pays my rent, I'm not just moving on as if not, like, if I owe Senna my rent money, like, you don't casually forget that, like that's just not a thing.
It's not something we could lie.
Nah. Don't let them lie to you. But anyway, Mr. Moyo, siyabonga siyazama. Shout out to the anonymous member who came through with the Valentine's Day story. Shout out to you, Mr. Moyo, pulling up for another shift on this Tuesday evening. Quick one. Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain. Who's winning?
I think Madrid win. That they look like the more organized team. I think they've had a good season as well.
Give me a score.
2-1.
2-1. I say 3-2. 3-2 Real Madrid win.
Okay. We'll see how it goes. This is Poch's sort of test drive to see if he should get the United job. So for his sake, he better hope he does well. But if he doesn't, then I suspect Ten Hag will be the man. But we'll see what comes. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Coolies. And obviously, to the listener, like the ting, retweet the ting, subscribe to the ting, or else we are inclined to believe you are a hater. Mr. Moyo.
Laters.